I think there's an awesome update when it comes to Beam. And what is that? Not too long ago, Beam made a post on X and it said that August 2025 development update. It says that updates on Beam RWA and Beam AI drop. More divisions in the next weeks. Why is this cool? It's because even though Beam is traditionally more known for its blockchain gaming aspect, I would say, I think it can't be denied that Beam RWA and Beam AI could hypothetically maybe be something moving forward. Because if we take a look at just the idea of RWA, what does that even stand for? It stands for real world asset. And if we take a look at RWA tokens, they're digital representations of physical assets on the blockchain. Like for instance, they could be for market sectors like real estate, bonds, stocks. It could also be for, let's say, something like, art. So then there's a bunch of possibilities, but I'm just naming a few. However, I like the direction here because if we take a look at just the concept again of RWAs, we've seen a project like Ondo, which I'm bullish on as well. That's a very massive project. We've seen how well that has done historically speaking, even despite the price chart having a pullback and whatnot. I'm just saying, we've seen kind of what it's already done, and that is heavily focused on RWAs. So when it comes to that, I think it is something that is on the rise. We also see something like Zebic be heavily focused on RWAs, of course, a bunch of other projects, but I like the kind of narrative there, and I think Beam seems to be catching on when it comes to that. Not to mention, we take a look at Beam AI. Now, when it comes to AI, of course, we've seen that usually when the market really does kind of have this moment in time which people become, very excited again, typically a lot of them do focus on AI projects. So I do like that aspect because, for instance, if we take a look at the AI market, it is predicted to be worth nearly $2 trillion in size by 2030, according to Grandview Research. So overall, I like what Beam is doing because on top of being focused on blockchain gaming, it has aspects of, being focused on other things too. And we have to consider how this is kind of adding on top of the already diverse, I would say, sort of concept behind Beam. Because if we take a look at Beam Swap, which is a decentralized exchange, we take a look at the Beam Layer 0 bridge, we take a look at Sphere, an NFT marketplace, we take a look at Beam OS, we take a look at the Beam Block Explorer. There's a lot of components already when it comes to Beam. So I like the direction in which Beam is heading. I like the mentality. Other projects out there, they seem to be heading in the wrong direction, but this seems to be the right direction because it seems like they actually care about the fundamentals. Now, let's say Beam hypothetically went to the price of 25 cents. Would that surprise me during a fully fledged type of altcoin season? No, it would not, because with the way altcoins are heading as of right now, and also considering if, let's say, Beam went to the price of 25 cents, market cap at that point, considering current circulating supply, would actually be around $12.5 billion. It doesn't seem too ridiculous to me, and that's around a 29x from here. Keep in mind, if let's say something like Dogecoin reached over $80 billion in market cap back in 2021, right now, where we have way more crypto owners, because keep in mind, back in the peak of the 2021 bull run, around 300 million crypto owners, again at the peak, now we have over 600 million. I mean, come on, if Dogecoin was able to reach that back then, this doesn't seem like too crazy of a market cap to me, again, around 12.5 billion, and also around 29x. I just don't get why some friends that I know out there would say, oh, why don't you look at Bitcoin and Ethereum? Well, what is Bitcoin and Ethereum going to do in the next 6 to 10 months? Bitcoin, 300 grand, that's less than a 3x from here. Ethereum at 10 grand, that's also less than a 3x from here. There's no guarantees what Beam is going to do moving forward, by the way. However, just the idea of it being, an altcoin with a relatively speaking way lower market cap than something like Ethereum, let alone something like Bitcoin, but I'm just saying, I would just rather, choose this over that for, say, this cycle, because if we see that fully fledged type of altcoin season, man, to me, why would I want to choose something like Ethereum, for instance? I would rather believe in something like Beam. This is just my perspective. I'm not telling you to do anything, because even if, let's say, Beam just does like a 5x from where it is as of right now, arguably, I would still rather even believe that over Bitcoin and Ethereum. This is just my mentality. However, to me, it's not more so about knowing the exact moment in time. It's more so about just preparing for a moment in time in which it does something. So I'm just dollar cost averaging, holding, and just waiting and staying patient because I do not know the future. So whenever Beam does decide to really wake up in a massive way, I just want to be prepared by just holding and just waiting, and that's about it. And feel free to subscribe if you enjoyed this video. I'll greatly appreciate it. It's been Lee the Captain, and I'll catch you all on the next one. I'm out. Peace. Bye.